Hi guys, how are we? Hope you're well. It's another week. My name's Akonsa Kijo, and this is Inspire YG. So thank you for popping in. Just a little bit of a background. If it's the first time for you coming on this page or this platform, I came to Australia a couple of years ago from East Africa, Kenya, and I came as an international student. So I have had my fair share of ups and downs, just like everybody else, but mostly I've chosen to look at the positive side. So there has been a lot of opportunities that have been afforded for me. Australia is a country that gives everybody a fair go, and so that was granted to me, and I'm forever grateful. So yeah, so I started up this page a couple of years ago, or this initiative. It is an initiative. Inspire YG, Inspire YG on Instagram and Inspire YG on Facebook. And I've done a couple of speaking engagements. Just to give a bit of a background, of why I got the dream to actually start this initiative. So it's mainly looking at my journey as an international student, and just looking at all the ups and downs that I went through, but also some of the opportunities that I did not know existed at the time, and that I sort of jumped on, and they took me to places I never thought I could have. And at the time, I remember thinking, I had to dig deeper. It wasn't things that were on the surface, it wasn't things that everybody around me was talking about. But I just thought, you're in a country that has opportunity, why not jump onto them? Yeah. So on this platform, I do share some of those opportunities, and I just, anything that I've been on, jumped on, put my hand in, you know, I like to come on here and sort of give my my experience and my journey, right? So today I thought I'd jump on and talk about. I'll be looking at my laptop down here. It's actually a new law that was passed on the 9th of this month, so it's just the other day, and it says international students in Australia cannot change courses under new law. So there's a new law that has been established by the Australian government, and I'll give a bit of a background about this, but I'll just give you a bit of just a little bit about what it's about, what this new change is about. So it's an international student enrolled in an Australian university will not be able to change their course of study, thesis, or research topic without receiving an approval from the minister, according to the new Australian visa rules. So this approval can only be given by the minister no, after the minister has obtained an assessment from a competent Australian authority that are authorities that are not likely to be directly or indirectly at risk or a risk to Australian national security. This is according to the Australian Home Affairs website. So it's actually, I did not go to the ins and outs of why this could have happened, but when I saw that it had something to do with Australian national security, or looking at the security of Australia, I just thought there had to be something there that probably is not public knowledge. But I just, initially when I saw this change, I didn't quite understand. It wasn't making sense to me, because I know that previously international students were actually able to change their course as long as you had enrolled the course and you had studied, maybe let's say you were 6 months in the course, you could, and you felt like this course is not for me, which was my case, then you could actually change the course. But now with this new rule, you really have to write to the ministry or to the minister to get the approval to change your course the moment you get your letter of offer from your educational institution. Now initially you could just actually have your uni do it for you, and I'll give a bit of a background. I'll actually link up the video here, the video that I did on how I changed my course from business to social work. But I wish I had more information on why this change happened, but it's pretty much all the articles that I've looked at since yesterday. They are all saying the same thing, that the Australian government has actually amended the Migration Act 1958, that and the change is meant to actually be effective this coming July. So if someone is already a student right now, it might not affect you. Yeah, this change, it will not affect you if you are planning to maybe change your course right now, let's say between now and June. But after July, if you're going to enroll in uni, then you might not be able to change your course. Now, what I feel like, I'm hoping that, okay, so just to give you a bit of more information. So this website was saying, students intending to change their course thesis or research topic have been required to complete a form available on the website of Department of Home Affairs and submit it to, there's an email there, adelaide.student.center@homeaffairs.gov.au. So it is going to be a bit tough for a lot of students, I can imagine, because, and like I said, all this information will be effective July 1st, 2022. So if you are planning to enroll in any university in Australia after 1st July this year, the course you choose might be the course you're gonna have to stick through, or to stick with, unless you have like legitimate reason. So what they said is the minister cannot approve the change unless satisfied that there is not an unreasonable risk of unwanted transfer of critical technology by the visa holder. So it has something to do with looking at the overall security, because this is something that is being looked into by not just one entity, from what I can see. They're the Australian National Security. Let me see whether that's what they're called. Australian National Security and other Australian authorities are actually going to be looking at this to ensure that there are no, I think, for lack of a better word, interior motives of why you're changing the course. I really feel like at the moment there's just a lot happening in the world that something that would look as simple as just you as a student in the heat of the moment you're choosing a course, then later on you realize this is not the course I want to do because maybe my passion has changed, or I feel like my purpose in life has shifted. It might be a bit intimidating. I feel like for myself, I would have felt a bit intimidated if I knew I had to write a letter to the minister to say that I want to change my course from business to social work. Not to say that I wouldn't do it. I really know I could. But I have to say that it's a bit intimidating for an international student to do that. I was feeling a bit like I was being taken aback when I knew that I had to write a letter to the institution, like to the university, you know, trying to change my course, right? That was just university. That was just like teachers or like the head of department. This is the minister. I just feel like I don't know whether this is going to make students study courses that they don't want to study just because they might feel like they're not competent or comfortable to write those letters. Now, I hope that agents, maybe if the educational agents are willing to help students in writing or drafting these letters, if students are going to need to change their course, maybe that can be helpful. But I'm also wondering if the schools, like the institutions, can come up with, like International Student Office can come up with ways to support students to write these assessments or submit these forms if they want to change their course, or maybe just even give them a bit of reassurance or support so that they feel confident to do it. Because I can imagine doing a 4-year research or a 4-year or a 5-year degree on something that I feel I don't want to anymore. That might make me feel sad. So yeah, when I saw it, I just remembered, I flashed back and I thought about the day that I decided that I don't want to do business anymore. So a bit of background. When I came to Australia, I was coming to study business studies, and I was so passionate about business for a very long time. That was also my background back in Kenya. That's what I had studied in college. And so I wanted to further that study. But as I studied, I realized that everything that I was studying here, it's knowledge I already had. It was financial management, it was marketing, it was budgeting, all these things I had done, and I was aware of what they were. So I felt like it was just regurgitating what I already knew, and I felt like I'm wasting my time. But at the same time, I was feeling really drawn towards going to what my passion was, helping people in the community. And I wanted to really get into community health or community engagements and social work at the time, but I didn't know there were courses like that. So when we went to there's always like universities towards the end of a semester, they bring in people in colleges, because at the time I was at TAFE, they bring in people at colleges to talk about what they offer in their universities. And the university I was going to go and study, they came in and started talking about all the other courses they offer, and I heard about social work and community engagement there, community and anything to do with community development was they talked about those courses. And I thought I probably need to change my course. So I did write a letter, but like I said, the letter was going to the institution, not to the minister. So at the time I had already studied 6 months, which is something that was a prerequisite before. You had to have studied for 6 months to actually be able to change your course. Now, the thing about changing courses, it's not as easy as it is, because as it was even prior, because at the end of the day, you are here on a student visa. And so changing your course, it's going to affect your visa, right? There's a connection between the two. That's why when people don't attend classes or they fail more than twice or thrice, depending on the institution, your visa could actually be revoked. So there is a connection there, and it's obviously different institutions working together. So the Department of Home Affairs and the educational institutions like universities working together, and obviously they have to. So I think we might not know the ins and outs of why this change has happened, but I think if you're a person who is already an international student, you would want to change your course. Maybe I think you should be thinking about doing something now, between now and June. But if you're a student who is coming here after July, I think my advice would be, or my opinion would be, it's probably better to do your due diligence. Just know the course you're choosing is something that you're passionate about, and it's something that you will feel that is not a strain to study, like you're going to enjoy it. Because in as much as I think it's gonna be okay, you can be able to submit the change of the course. So I hope this information was a bit helpful. And look, if you're one of those students, or you would want to know more about, especially look at the articles I looked at, if that's something you're interested in, please send me a DM on InspireYG, either on Facebook, InspireYG on Instagram. I'm going to forward these articles to you so that you can read them and do your due diligence as well. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for popping in. For those popping in for the first time, I appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends. And some of the information I share here could be helpful. If you think it is, please do share with your friends. For those who are always supportive, thank you so much for popping in. I don't take it for granted. And until the next one, stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.